Hi folks, we're live, I hope. And sorry that we were running late. We're looking after a little paddymmelon, which is like the size of a small kangaroo, like the size of a small kangaroo, and he's very, very old. We often have little paddymmelons who a lot of them come up to our yard. They from the forest that we have on our land. We have about 3 acres of sort of woodland forest, and they all live down there, and they come up every evening and have a little bit to nibble on. And every so often, because they only live about 6 years, Dee Dee? Oh, they do. Oh, okay. So they don't have a really long life for a little herbivore, but they.
My mic wasn't on.
Oh, so Dee Dee's mic wasn't on.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
That's because I was getting food and stuff for cats.
Yeah, and so anyway, every so often, it doesn't happen very often, but every so often there'll be a very old little paddymmelon who, at the last couple of days of their life, or even the last day of their life, we kind of snaffle them up and put them in a largish cage, and we look after them until they pass away. And they eat usually right up until the end. And just before we came on, this little guy that we're looking after, we picked him up yesterday. He started rustling around, and I took the opportunity to clean out the cage and then hand feed him some apple and some carrot and also some paddymmelon pellets and water, and then give him some water. He's sort of too weak to kind of, at this point, to sort of eat himself. We only picked him up yesterday.
At this point, they sort of wander around and have very much a hard time.
Yeah.
They're usually they don't stay near the house in the daytime, but when they're very old, near the end of their life, they do.
Yeah. And, if we thought he was in pain or anything, we would take him to a vet. But this is pretty much, they eat almost up to the end, don't they, Dee Dee?
Yeah.
And if they were in a lot of pain, they probably wouldn't be eating. So, but anyway, he seems fairly comfortable most of the time, and we basically, we just look after him, and he'll probably go tomorrow. I'm surprised he was actually eating this evening, and so anyway, it's just something that we can do for these little guys when they're having a hard time, because it's actually fairly cold at the moment, and
it's winter here in Tasmania.
Yeah, it's winter.
It may be having heat disasters elsewhere, but
yeah, so it's sort of really awful to see them kind of, I just can't bear to see them sort of out in the cold in that weakened state. So
in the rain, when it rains, they get sodden. They have a hard time.
Yeah, so they get really sodden, and sometimes it's really cold outside, isn't it, Dee Dee?
Yeah.
So, but tonight actually
we're talking about freezing temperatures,
yeah,
like -1 or -3.
I mean, it's not Toronto type temperatures, but it's pretty cold for, a little. They're fairly sort of thin when they're at that stage too. So, so what are we playing? So, my apologies anyway. Long story short, our apologies for not starting at 8:30, and it's nice to see he's quite comfortable now.
Hi, Herbert Bryan. Hi, Herb.
Hi, Herb.
I'm not entirely sure where he's coming from, but
what's that?
What service he's coming on, but
oh yeah.
Oh, that's a door out.
Yeah, so how are you, Herb? So what are we playing today, Dee Dee?
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. We were actually thinking of at some point playing what game was it? Flight Simulator at some point, but I think it's actually quite
exy.
expensive. So
And you need a pretty good machine.
oh, that's right.
And
yes, you need an excellent kind of a really powerful computer, really, to.
And ours is pretty good, but it's not absolutely fabulous.
No, it's not fabulous.
I think it's
Dee Dee's the techie person, so she kind of sorts out that sort of thing. So anyway, we're streaming on Twitch and Facebook, and I'm not sure where on Facebook, but
it's on Twitch. I mean on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know where it's on Facebook. Oh no.
Yeah, I just found my grave and was able to recover my stuff.
Oh.
But
so, are there actual lands, Dee Dee, where they go to in the No Man's Sky?
lands?
yeah,
well, they go to planets.
Yeah, planets. Like, do they have a name for
Yeah.
the one?
This planet is the starting planet because I had to start a new game.
Right.
And it's Rilin, and it's a cold planet. The weather is snowy. It has frost crystals and sodium dioxide and copper a lot.
Right.
I've found 4 of the little creatures and 9 plants and 11 minerals so far, and a couple of waypoints.
Ah. That was kind of tiring doing that. You don't want to really upset the little guys because they suddenly realize, oh, I'm still here, and then they sort of thrash around a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I sort of want to be able to clean them up without sort of upsetting them too much, and so that seemed to work out pretty well. And anyway, so I might just wait until some folks turn up, and then I'll sort of mention a few things.
Yeah, we'll just fool around for the time being.
Yeah.
And
if you have something you want to share, Herb, I don't actually see Herb here, really. Is he there?
what?
Herb, I don't see
Well,
him.
I don't know. I see him on mine, but mine is the whole caboodle of, I think it's the chat on Restream. So I'm not sure where he's chatting.
Yeah.
It actually has a little picture.
Yeah, also this is actually
So I've discovered the Alupuska system.
This is actually very early in the morning and on the East Coast and stuff, so
Look, it's a binary star system.
Hey Dee Dee,
Yeah?
you may want to. I'm just thinking. Hang on, I have to mute some things. I'm not sure. Maybe the background music could be a little bit loud. I don't know.
A little bit louder?
Maybe it isn't. I'm not sure. Hang on. Oh, here's. Hi, Sufyan Bear. Is the. I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
Sufyan Bear, I see her. How are you?
So, yeah, I don't know if it's kind of the background music is a little loud.
Is it too loud?
No, I don't know. I'm just, but if you feel like giving us the heads up if the background music is too loud and sort of overwhelming.
Too soft or?
Yeah, or too soft, exactly, yeah. How's things with you, Sufyan Bear? That's good. Are you in the US or the UK or
Canada?
Canada?
We have a few friends from different
Because
places.
you're up very early if you're in the US. I think it's pretty
Australia?
early now. maybe 6:30 or something. Maybe probably more like 7 o'clock in the US now. Wouldn't on the East Coast anyway. Anyway, good on you for being able to restream it on a few platforms, Dee Dee.
Yes, we're just practicing
You're
these
clever.
things. We're improving slowly.
Well, Dee Dee is. I'm not going anywhere really. She's the one that does all that. I can do some of it though, can't
Trishy's the smart
I'm not
podcaster who does all the aesthetics, and I do a few techie bits in the background when necessary.
The colours in this game are really beautiful.
Yes, I love the color. It's really, quite saturated colors. It's
Yeah.
lovely.
Oh, okay, from France, yeah. Nice. What part of France are you in, Soufiane Bear? Are you being affected by
The rain.
the rain at the moment?
It looks pretty horrible, the torrential
Yeah,
rains.
looks pretty we were looking at Germany at the moment. Where
I'm not
was
sure
it?
whether Alsace or Normandy or whatever would be affected.
Yeah, but it looked pretty terrible.
Pretty extreme.
Name of this game, please. It's No Man's Sky. And what does it say? Is that virtual reality?
No. It's just plain straight up.
Yeah.
It's kind of an exploration survival game. At the beginning, it's a survival game. Then it's an exploration game, and it's very kind of calming. I've just started this game, and you start out. You have no memory, and you fix this spaceship, and you're having to survive on a fairly icy, cold, inhospitable planet.
Yeah.
And then you have to go and find stuff. Now, where's that thing that I was going to go look for?
What were you going to go look for, Dee Dee?
There's something. There it is. There's an ancient ruin on a different planet. And I'm going to engage my pulse engine and go there.
So, did you mention that you were you affected at all by the rain like Germany was, Soufiane Bear?
I'm not alone.
Excuse me, little one. That's it. I'm sorry. Can I put my feet up there? There you go. We're having a little bit of problems on the mainland with COVID. It's sort of had a
Yes.
resurgence with all the variants. So Soufiane Bear said the galaxy stars are very beautiful. No, so that you're not having trouble with the rainfall, because just we wondered it because Germany was having a bad time. Well, Eastern Germany, wasn't it, Dee Dee?
Western Germany.
Western Germany.
And Belgium and I think the Netherlands.
Yeah. So we just thought you may be. It's really quite bad. What happens? Dee Dee was saying what
It's
happens
basically
weather-wise.
a weather cell just stalled, and it just keeps raining heavily.
And that was because the westerlies stopped. Because of the climate crisis, the westerly
It's interfering
winds.
with the prevailing westerlies.
So another delight because of the climate crisis. And that's probably going to happen more often in the future.
Okay.
So what are you doing at the moment, Dee Dee?
Well, I'm landing. I was in
Excuse me.
an observatory and discovered a contaminated planet. I'm on a contaminated planet.
A contaminated planet.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola is changing the flavor of their soda again. Honestly, some of the stuff they put on the sidebar on Twitter, it's just like a big ad. Like, this is the New York Times, right?
Yeah.
That trash, news source, in quotes, just doing a straight-up ad for Coca-Cola. Dee Dee.
Yeah.
You know? I mean,
Yeah.
why on earth would the New York Times or any sort of main corporate media do an article on Coca-Cola changing the flavour of their soda? I mean, for heaven's sake,
Yes, really.
Oh, Sufyan Bear said try to play Skyrim sometimes. You're not a huge fan of that, are you, Dee Dee? You like
I'm not. I like Morrowind
you,
better.
yeah,
We
Dee Dee likes
sometimes play Morrowind.
yeah, Morrowind. I think it
Um,
was you don't like the it was
I don't
too
like
fixed or something about
how directed it is.
yeah, directed, yeah.
And I'm not all that fond of continually fighting Draugr. You know, you seem to go into underground caves and fight Draugr all the time, which are basically Viking zombies.
Oh yeah. So that's sort of something that
And
is
that sort of, I like the diversity in Morrowind.
right.
The older games seem better to me than the later games.
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see what they do with the next game, but that's not out for another couple of years.
Oh yeah. What is that? What's that supposed to be about?
Well, the next game is supposed to be in Hammerfell and High Rock. Oh my,
Hammerfeld and High Rock.
yeah. It's a different region,
Right.
and the graphics here are going a little strange. I might have to get off of this planet. Jesus.
What's that?
The graphics are going very strange. Where's my spaceship?
Uh,
Get out of here. I
uh
don't know what's going on here. I
oh.
don't like it though.
Uh-oh. I think we're going to have to get you a better graphics thing, Dee Dee. If it's starting to have trouble with
Well,
this
it may
game.
be. Yeah, I'm not sure the last update on this game went quite right. They've just updated it and added more stuff,
Right.
which is fabulous, but
Yeah.
also um, Oh, no, it just crashed. Okay, it's going to take me a few minutes to come
Oh,
back,
we're going to have to.
but it's still
Oh,
on.
okay. You have to
We're still
go.
on. I'm just going to have to reboot it.
Okay, I hope you have a good day too. We're going to have to reboot
Okay.
because it's crashed. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Sufambert. Sufiambert. Okay. I'll try this again. Up. And we'll probably get the whole galactic thing
Jesus.
happen.
Oh, God. Alia gets very pushy and she just kind of
Yes.
she's snuggled into my lap now, but sometimes she forgets to put her
Our
claws
little
away.
black cat. All the cats love Trish's lap
Yeah.
because she puts her feet up
Yeah.
and creates a nice space.
Yes.
They all climb on board.
Yes. I think
This will go on for a little bit as it loads.
I think I'll have to delete some of these. You've done some like test live streams, which actually went public.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know how it is. So I might delete those too,
Okay.
because that's a little confusing.
Okay, well this is the start screen of No Man's Sky, the beautiful moving through the galaxies in shifting colors. Obviously the galaxy is queer.
Queer galaxy.
It goes through all the colors of the rainbow.
Huh. I wonder how long it takes. I wonder if anybody got a notification.
I hope so.
Yeah, that would be good.
It is kind of probably very early for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But I always enjoy it when people come on. I love to do these live streams.
And what?
I like it when we rabbit on them.
Yeah, yeah,
Have a good time.
yeah. So what's happening?
These loading screens take
Oh,
a
okay.
while.
It's loading.
Yeah.
I've got that song "Strangers in
It's
the
a very slow moving game.
I've got that song "Strangers in the Night" in my head, and I keep
The which?
wanting "Strangers in the Night." That really old song.
Strangers in the
Yeah,
night.
I've got that in my head, and I keep wanting to sing it, and then I think, well,
An
that's
earworm. That's what they call them.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you have a song that keeps playing
Yeah.
on and on in your mind,
Right.
it's called an earworm.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, I don't know. It's just some little freaky thing that our brains do. They just keep playing this song.
Oh, wow.
And there's apparently ways to get rid of earworms.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I must find that out, because sometimes that does happen to me. Not very
Yeah.
often, but yeah. And sometimes, like, particularly if you've heard something a number of times, like, I'm just trying to think, because it doesn't happen with every song. You know how if you Didi?
Yeah.
You know how if you're listening to background music with something and you have to keep hearing it, and then you get like one of those earworm type things where you start hearing it after it's finished.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen with everything. It's funny, isn't
No.
it? It's just selected things.
Yeah.
It might happen. Anyway. anyway, I was watching these two comedians, Whitney Cummings and Nikki Glaser, and it's kind of fascinating hearing their how when they're watching another comedian, if they don't feel like that comedian is actually being completely honest about themselves with the audience, they kind of go, and sort of think you're not worth watching if you can't be completely honest with the audience. But I know I was sort of watching how when they're discussing things on Whitney Cummings' podcast, they're so brutally honest. Like it's almost like almost a bit like a therapy session.
Yeah.
It's quite amazing, like that people can be that. Like an open book almost with about every, all the weird thoughts they have, but it's actually really, and the sort of some of the weird behaviors and and also sort of psychological things they talk about, codependency and just a whole bunch of different things, and it's sort of like watching two people having mutual therapy. It's really sort of interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the amazing thing about like good comedians are that they say stuff about themselves that most people would be too embarrassed to say.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they don't mind kind of exposing themselves.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the essence of that kind of comedy, I think.
Yeah, but that's
it's very self-revelatory. Yeah. But I mean, it's what works because it's what allows us to see ourselves in that kind of comedy.
Yeah, but it's actually it's almost it's like watching the inner workings of someone's mind, like the things that most people may not say. I'm not saying everybody's like that, but it's like it's really refreshing because they're so candid about themselves. And women, I've noticed, tend to be a little bit more open about that than male comedians are, but then not really. Because she's had some male comedians on her podcast, and they seem to be. Have I got my mic on? Yep. They seem to be, pretty open about themselves too, and they seem totally not embarrassed about it.
Yeah.
That's amazing, really.
Yeah, it is.
So I sort of pretty. It's kind of fascinating to watch because most people are pretty guarded and what were they? And then you sort of realize that that when you sort of hear younger women talking like they are talking.
Yeah.
I know that they're celebrities and everything, so it's different than say the everyday woman, because they have more money and stuff like that. But it's interesting and sad to see how appearance still, they're talking about how the ridiculousness of concerning themselves about, how much they have to concern themselves about their appearance, and then there's also the like Whitney Webb. I'm calling the journalist, not the comedian. Whitney Cummings was saying how she, when she was younger, the amount of time that men took up in her head, thinking about men, wondering what they were thinking about her and this and and that, and she said oh my God, the amount of time. She said if only I could get that back, and just sort of anyway, I just thought I just find that really fascinating watching comedians talk in podcasts because it's just so unusual, You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
To have people just talking, it's almost like it's almost like they don't have an audience, and two, they're talking to someone also who's not a close friend, but
Yeah.
they're talking more openly than what maybe some
Most people ever speak.
would do with their close friends. So,
Yeah.
so anyway,
Well, you know,
that's refreshing.
in theater and stuff, I've always heard that, yeah, the purpose of art is the inner revelation of humans, you know?
Yeah. Yes.
And comedy certainly does that, you know? It's the inner revelation that makes it interesting, that makes it not just abusive or something like that. I mean, when you're making fun of someone else, it becomes abusive really quickly.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about yourself, yeah,
Yeah.
then it becomes revelation. It becomes something that we can identify with.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
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 We can see ourselves. We can see the absurdity in some of our actions, and you know, or the silliness, and in a sense we can also forgive ourselves for behaving in an imperfect way, because
Yeah.
we realize people are just imperfect in that way.
Yeah. 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 Yep. That's something I find, it's actually, it's taken me a while to be able to sort of express weakness and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure why. Like, I think it's probably...
Because it's vulnerability.
Yeah. But
yeah,
I think
I know why, you know, like...
But I think I've had, while I've been growing up,
Yeah.
I think because I wasn't able to really talk about my feelings at all with my family.
Yeah.
You know.
Joanna's A says, good morning, Trish.
Oh, this is Joanna from, hi, how are you? Joanna's sort of normally, I see Joanna on Status Quo.
Oh, yeah.
Lovely to see you, Joanna.
Yeah, lovely to see you.
I was just talking about
Vulnerability.
I don't know if you caught it. I was talking about a couple of comedians and their podcast, like Whitney Cummings and Nikki Glaser were talking on a podcast, and I was just saying how amazing and refreshing it is how female comedians actually talk really candidly in a public podcast about some of their weird thoughts and all this kind of stuff, and it's just sort of, it's almost like watching a therapy session, but possibly even more revealing in some ways. I don't know, but it was just sort of really interesting. And then I was just sort of saying how, because most people don't really talk about that, particularly not in public, and even maybe sometimes not even
privately.
No, not even privately. And then I was just
it's like, I know I talk about stuff much more candidly with you.
I would hope so.
You know, well, yeah, sure. But, I mean, partly because, like I've found it's not safe to talk about a lot of things with other people.
Yeah.
And
unfortunately.
It makes you vulnerable, and people will use stuff against you.
Yeah.
And so you learn not to reveal yourself.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. That's why it's amazing to me how some people on social media, like, I'm often fascinated with
Adam Karkowski. Hello, you.
Hi, Adam Karkowski. I'm sort of fascinated how people on social media can sometimes there'll be some people, and I just think, well, good on you for doing this, if you as long as you're not revealing too much that it can get you in trouble. But they just almost every thought in their head they put out on social media. It's
Yes.
interesting. Like, I know one person who I've known. I don't know them well, but I've known them for a long time online, and they basically, it's almost like
They talk about everything.
they're keeping a diary, and yeah, they talk about everything. Like, they'll go, oh, on Twitter, it'll go, oh, I feel like I want to sort of have some potato chips today, or or they'll say something that's more kind of candid, about how they're feeling or something, and it's basically like a running commentary almost of what they're thinking.
Yeah.
And I find that like fascinating, like I've found myself. I don't know how you go with this, Joanna or Adam, but I find if I've ever on Facebook, mind you, nobody really sees my posts anymore on Facebook.
No.
I'm quite suppressed, and so people who are even following me don't seem to see what I post. But if I've ever posted something that's private, that's kind of some sort of personal thing, and it's so rare, like I basically might do that, I don't know, like 2 or 3 times a year, if that, maybe twice a year, but usually I don't use any social media to put out anything that's personal. I just don't, because one, I don't have the motivation to do it, and also I just think, well, I'm not going to give away personal information to these awful social media platforms in Silicon Valley and all of that. But like the few times, Dee Dee, that I've done that, I'll leave it up there for like a minute, and then I have to delete it. Do you know what I mean? It's like I sort of think, why did I do that? And then I like take it down.
Yeah.
And nobody sees it anyway. It's like it doesn't matter anyhow, right?
Yeah.
But it's just funny, yeah. So I'm just fascinated when people, can just put out everything they're thinking and stuff like that. I think, wow, that's amazing. And then when I see those two comedians talking so candidly on a public thing, I just think, wow, that's really courageous. Good on you for being able to do that.
And it's tricky sometimes, because sometimes when you talk about your experiences, this happened to me more when I was younger and the social media was different.
Right.
When it was before the web, when it was...
you mean when you had little green screens with little fluorescent
when you were
fonts on
doing
them?
talk, text stuff, when it was Usenet, I've been on the net for a long time, and before they had pictures and stuff. And I mean, I found I sometimes said things about my life and my experience which included other people.
Yeah.
And other people got upset because, I'm speaking about their experience or their life as well. And I learned to sort of censor myself in some ways, but it's difficult because it's like I'm censoring my own experience.
Yeah.
Because it involved someone else.
Right.
Or
I see what you
because
mean.
it was an experience that wasn't just mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
out of respect to the other person, I'm censoring it, and that's kind of sad.
Oh, Dee Dee, can you grab that away from here?
Yeah.
We have a little cat who's just
He's
had
not
a
allowed
couple.
to eat solid food at the
Yeah,
moment.
he's got a couple of extractions and that he's had, and he's not supposed to eat solid
He's a
food.
very old cat,
He's
and
a
he's having
very
to
old
lose a
cat.
couple of teeth.
Uh-oh, he's eating something off the... There we go.
There's nothing really
that's
there.
it. Yeah, sorry, Dee Dee. Please continue. Oh, and Adam said, I used to dial in to BBSES with ANSI graphics.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I don't know what that is.
Yeah. The bulletin boards. BBS is bulletin boards.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
I actually remember those bulletin
yeah.
boards.
And the ANSI graphics is where you're using characters to make pictures.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
And
Adam, do you remember those little web rings they used to have?
oh,
Like,
I think web rings. We're gonna have to bring those back.
yeah, I think so.
Because it's too difficult to talk to people about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see.
You know,
My
Didi,
Starship.
I've got,
Where?
this, we're restreaming this on Twitch and Twitter, and it's supposed to be on Facebook, but I don't know where it is on Facebook. I don't see it anywhere. But on Twitter, there's not one person has noticed this live stream. And I'm not sure how that can be, because if you didn't know there was any audio, it's still visually very appealing, and I don't know how anybody could sort of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There has to be some gamer on Twitter.
The what?
There has to be some gamer on Twitter that's interested in this.
In this, sure.
You've actually called it Morrowind. That's the only thing. Live chat Morrowind.
I didn't actually. I don't know.
Did you change it? Cause
I did.
Because it's got live chat
Oh,
Morrowind.
well, I did change it, but
Okay.
maybe it's not switched.
Okay. But how is that possible, though? There's absolutely zero people have noticed that.
I have no idea.
See, that's what I don't get. I don't see how it's possible to not have one person notice a visually appealing game.
Yeah. And it is visually appealing. It's very calming. It's actually a game that you can play, that you can talk. You're not killing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You kind of get to see some animals and stuff, but you
That's-
don't have to kill them.
That's why.
They don't attack you generally. There's
Yeah.
a couple of them that do, but that's very rare.
Yeah. It's probably a good idea, Didi, to actually. I can actually change the. I can put in a different title, because live with Restream doesn't really say much, as a title.
Yeah, I think Restream does that.
Yeah, but you have to then go in and
Yeah.
change it on the actual,
Yeah.
YouTube thing.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think Restream titles it differently than the YouTube titles it.
No, I'm going in now,
Okay.
and
Well, if you can do that, that's fabulous.
yeah, but you need to let me know so I can do that, because it doesn't really mean much to people if it's just got live with Restream. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's the problem with doing it through Restream rather than doing it directly through YouTube.
Oh, that's
It
okay.
overrides YouTube.
Oh, no, that's okay. That's okay.
The advantage, of course, is that it plays on more than one platform.
What's that?
The advantage is that it plays on more than one platform, but okay, go to my little spaceship. Oh no. What's it need? Metal plating.
Oops. What was that about metal plating?
Oh, I have to, let's see, that starship. Do I have anything there? I have to make launch fuel to get out of here.
What's that?
I have to make launch fuel to get out of here. And I had to make metal plating to do that. Okay, now I can leave. I'll go and find out this person is that wants to talk to me.
Anyway.
I'm going through space at a rapid rate. Adam says I came over from Media Roots.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's nice, Adam.
That's lovely.
It's been a while.
We love Media Roots.
Yeah. It's been a while, hasn't it, since Robbie has played some Maine politics.
Well,
really,
Media Roots is Media Roots, but
no, but he does. There is a little section for Maine politics chat
yeah.
there in the Discord.
yeah, I've missed Maine politics.
Yeah, I miss Robbie. I know
Yeah.
he's been really, really busy because Abby's been with the baby and also doing her feature film.
New doco.
Not feature film, that documentary.
That'll be interesting.
Earth's Greatest Enemy. Yeah, that'll be really interesting. I really love the trailer so far. It's excellent.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad you came over, Adam. Have I seen you on those Maine politics chats? I don't know if I have. Yeah, very quiet, isn't it? Maine politics is very quiet.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that Robbie starts that up again. Maybe he might next year when Abby's baby is older. I mean,
Yes,
Abby's
I
baby
miss
is.
it.
Huh?
I miss Maine politics.
Yeah, Abby's baby is about a little bit over 1 year old now. Did you see the trailer to Earth's Greatest Enemy, Adam? Earth's Greatest. I'll see
Really
if I
good.
can find the Earth's Greatest Enemy. Tell you what, they don't want to give the YouTube location of those sort of things, you know, like, I don't know, you have to know exactly what to put in there on YouTube before they'll give you the
excuse me, I've got a cat
here it
pushing
is.
himself in my face.
What's that? Huh. Could you give him some wet food, Didi? Oh, you have. Oh, okay then. That's good.
Okay. I'm back.
Yeah, I think they'll probably go into. I think that they'll probably go into some very fascinating and kind of disturbing details about the kind of planetary destruction that the U.S. military is engaged in, and I think it'll probably be quite shocking. I'm hoping that a lot of people see it so that it'll shift people out of that the sort of ignorance that people have and lack of information about what they're doing every single day on the planet and who they're doing it to. I mean, I'm sure that they'll not only be talking about the destruction, but they'll manage to get in information about, sort of they'll be able to incorporate their imperialist adventures as well as their environmental destruction all in the same thing, I imagine, don't you, Dee?
Yeah.
So it'll be really great. And I was
well,
saying
I think there's so much incredible resource use with the military, and then there's the amount of destruction they do.
Yeah.
To land and to forest, and I mean, what they did in Vietnam with the defoliants and stuff was just insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that of course affects major river systems and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, my God,
Yeah.
it's bad.
Yeah. Um, let's see. Project Censored. That's not a great place to sit, Swifty. I can't. There's a thing that there's a link to U.S. military. Oh, here it is. Oh no, that's not it. U.S. military pollution on Project Censored, and I posted a link in the video I did yesterday on Faint Signals from Vega. Anyway, anyhow, I'll have to track that down. I can't see Swifty. Can you move, little one? There you go. I've been tossing up whether to give this later on or tomorrow. If that little Pattymellon's still kind of eating and stuff, whether to give him a quick bath tomorrow, because he really is quite on the smelly side.
Poor little one.
Yeah. Poor little guy. Yeah, so anyway, back to that, being open and stuff. Just not being able to, it's very difficult sometimes to, unless I trust somebody a lot, to reveal any kind of weaknesses and stuff or vulnerability, and that's why it's so fascinating to see other people doing that in front of people that they don't have a clue who they are,
Yeah.
And I wonder where that comes from, where some people can do that and other people can't.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know. And also, I don't particularly feel the need to really reveal anything. I don't know if that's a age thing. Like when I was younger, I'd talk to people, I had friends and I'd talk to them and I was sort of trying to figure things out about life and stuff. Not that that's not an ongoing thing, about life, but it's fascinating kind of to me when people are really open like that. It's kind of courageous, really, isn't it?
It is.
I'm just going to get a little cracker with some avocado on it. Off you go, little one.
Oh, 16, 16, 16. Ah. Well, I've just got do not die, friend, a waste of data. Hey, no joke, I would miss you so. That's very strange. Oh no. Yeah. It is. Is Adam still with us? I saw the trailer. He's writing on things, but it's not showing up in my chat over here. You'll have to read the chat. Uh-oh, I've got a lot of these guys looking at me. Why? Uh-oh. I think my game just froze. Ah! My game's behaving in a glitchy way. Okay, I'm going to have to start over again. My game is behaving in a glitchy way. Maybe we're going to go through the entire galaxy thing again, the rainbow galaxy. It'll give time for more people to come in anyway. Okay, I'll try that again. Ah! My baby's eating crackers. Now it's going to be black screen for a few minutes until the stars start coming, and I might go and make myself a cracker too.
I just had to have some crackers. So we're booting up again. I'm not sure why we're having a glitchy time tonight. Maybe you're having some problems with your computer lately, Didi, do you think? Oh, yeah. No, I don't know. Right. A lot of Egyptian stuff. Ah. Oh. So Ishka joined, and Ishka says, hey, I'm debating Avi on why I think we should reintroduce predators into damaged ecosystems. What's your thoughts on this argument he uses? Well, what is this? To reintroduce predators? I think we should stop meddling, period, with like if we didn't get into upsetting the balance of the the balance of ecosystems with all our driving them out and making little islands and all this kind of stuff, and then introducing species from other countries so that we can then go around and kill them, and then when they start to breed more, then we make the excuse that we can go in and kill them more. It's just an excuse to hunt, and we basically mess things up so much. And so I'm not really into the whole idea of introducing animals to kill other animals and stuff like that.
Well,
I just wish we'd stop meddling.
I think introducing predators is a good idea, and the reason it's a good idea is because it is one of the ways environments are kept in balance.
Are we talking about reintroducing predators that are natural
natural predators.
to
For
that
instance, if
to
you
that environment that have been hunted out. I'm just where do you get?
where predators like wolves, for example,
Yeah.
are hunted out,
Yeah,
it upsets the balance, and you end up with far too many elk or deer or something, and they often degrade the environment. And the environment becomes much more healthy when you introduce wolves. Now, in environmental balance, there are never too many wolves.
mm.
It's the way populations tend to balance out, and having
where-
no predators in the environment doesn't work. And you can say God stuffed things up,
Yeah, but
or
listen,
whatever you
but
want to
listen,
say.
where do you get those predators from, though? That's what I'm concerned about.
Well, okay, it would be reintroducing predators that existed in that.
I know, but where do you get them from? Like, do you have to breed them into existence to introduce them? Where do you get those
Well, probably
wolves
from zoos and stuff. You reintroduce predators to their natural environment
A
that
wolf
have been
from a
taken
zoo.
out of the
A
environment.
wolf from a zoo is not going to do any good in.
The what?
A wolf from a zoo is not going to do any good in the wild.
Yeah. Well-
That would be a mistake. So I'm just wondering, where would you get the wolves? You'd have to breed them into existence, and I'm not into that. I would much rather, I'd just much rather we stop creating a situation where we're having to reintroduce, or
To leave, you're
Because
saying
you
leave
know
the
what's gonna happen.
situation natural.
I don't know, but you know what's going to happen, though. Of course, then they're going to make the excuse that now we've got to go and kill the wolves, right?
No. You
No,
can't
they do
that.
though. They do. Donald Trump has already done that. He'll sort of they get to a certain point, and then he was saying, okay, now they can go in and kill wolves. I just read that only about, I don't know, 3 weeks ago.
Okay,
not
well
Donald Trump
that's
recently.
stupid. That's
Yeah.
completely. No, you wouldn't do that.
No, but that's what they do, though. In the United
Yeah.
States, anyway, that's what
Yeah.
they do.
Well, okay, that's not rewilding. I'm sorry, that's just wrong.
Yeah.
That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah.
If you're talking about the idea of trying to rewild and create something closer to a natural environment, then going in and introducing predators and then going in and killing them is not the right thing to do.
Yeah. Anyhow, until we're vegan, right, and people start respecting
Yeah.
animals and stop seeing us as the ones,
Yeah.
as the ones that are in control
Yeah.
of whatever, of how many animals can be in that environment and how many animals
Yeah,
can be,
you can't.
and all of that.
you-
Unless
you-
we stop doing that,
Yeah, you basically have to have an environment where the animals are left alone and the plants are left alone. You just leave them alone.
yeah. But the only way that's
You
gonna
stop fucking around.
Yeah,
with
the
them.
only way that's going to happen, though, is when we actually respect other animals and stop seeing them as things to look at. And
Sure.
now we've got to go in and send hunters in there because there's about
Sure,
20.
you have to not do that.
Yeah, it's
No,
like
darling, I'm
Yeah,
completely
yeah, I know.
in agreement with
yeah,
that.
yeah. No, it's
What
but
I'm
I know
saying is
you are,
that-
but it's like
As a biologist,
yeah,
from an ecological standpoint, predators populations are important, but yes, not if human beings are interfering and talking about, then you can go in and hunt this and that. No, you have
Oh.
to keep human beings right out of that.
yeah,
Right out of it.
yeah. Yeah, well, that's the thing. But we're only going to stay out of it, though, when we actually realise that we have no right to be
Sure.
messing with
Well,
other animals and
That
stuff.
you realize that the only way a natural environment functions naturally is if we keep our bloody dirty hands off it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
And that's the sad thing.
And we won't, and we won't,
No,
and
we
we don't.
No. Like Ishkar was saying, 31 grey wolves from Western Canada relocated to Yellowstone. There just always seems to be an excuse.
Well,
There's always
that's probably not a bad idea because Yellowstone has been wiped out,
sure.
have the wolves wiped out. and reintroducing those if you are leaving the animals around Yellowstone alone. If you are creating some sort of area where people are not allowed to hunt, people are not allowed to go in there and fuck around, people are not allowed to interfere with the animals, then introducing them, particularly from another wild population, is not a bad idea.
Yeah.
But
And
it is dependent on the you don't fuck around.
The only
with
way
them.
this is all going to work in any long-term sense is when most people are vegan and we understand that we don't have the rights to. I mean,
Yeah,
because we have.
or else you just have strict laws and rules, that you just don't bother. You don't go in there and do anything with those animals.
Yeah.
You keep the people out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's what rewilding should be and could be, and it's the only way it really works.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I do agree with that idea, but that's a bit different than the
Yeah.
idea of you can put.
Are you reading the comments, Didi?
I can't read a lot of them. They're too far away and they're not on my machine.
What was that? Hold on a sec.
Can you read that? Let's see. And serving an ecological niche, would you try and stop them, and why? Hang on, let me go read the comments. No, I just can't see the comments from there. They're not showing up on my machines. Vancouver has a coyote problem, he's saying. I think Vancouver has a human problem. Yeah. The coyotes will work themselves out and balance things up. Yeah.
Sorry, I was just we've got a little sick. Well, not a sick. We've got a very old Paddy Melon we're looking after at the moment, and he was just sitting up, which is nice.
Yeah.
He's very old and he's dying basically, so we're looking after him. Yeah, when we start looking at things like we have a coyote problem or we have a this problem, that problem, that's
when we're trying to manage nature, it doesn't work.
No, and it's also
Basically.
a kind of a human supremacist thing where we think we consider ourselves not the problem and it's there and they are the problem. It's like the feral in quotes, cat problem that we created.
Yeah.
And then we sort of say we've got a feral cat problem, blaming it on cats.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the feral cats are the problem.
Yes, as if they're the problem. And
we have a feral cat.
And yet there's no efforts made to sort of stop breeding cats and dogs into existence for our companions and entertainment. And we're quite happy to see them by the millions in shelters being killed. And the people who are the whinge the most about cats are usually the ones that will never ever suggest free desexing and everything else, just to sort of address these refugees of domestication who are being killed in shelters all over the world.
Yeah.
they never ever do anything proactive. They're always just complaining. It's just a big complaint, isn't it, Dee Dee?
Yep.
Ongoing complaining about cats. Anyway, I've done a couple of videos about that. People might like to look out for. There's one actually, it's just
Yeah.
called Cats.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thoughts on
hi,
this?
Jen. How are you? We were just talking about, somebody asked a question about...
Predators.
Anyway, you can see in the comments section. And, yeah. It kind of drives me spare all the sort of the... You know, when you hear about the... Oh, this population has to be managed because they're getting out of control. And it's just... Often it's just an excuse for people to go in and murder animals for fun. Really, that's... To be, you know, if people were being really honest, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's just an excuse to go around murdering animals for fun. And then calling it conservation and
Or something or other.
culling and whatever, you know,
Yeah.
under the guise of I'm doing something good for you know,
nature.
for nature, yeah. Thoughts on Ava's hypothetical above, making the counter argument that they want to get to a world where predators are chasing robot AIs made out of lab-grown meat.
What's that?
I think Ishkar's making a joke. How are you, Jen?
Hi, Jen. Lovely to see you. Let's see. What am I doing? How come I have no ammo?
Where are you, Ishkar? Whereabouts are you from? Like what country?
What? Oh, good.
I made a little bit of a valley there so he could, you know, if he fell over, he wasn't right over on his side.
Yeah.
I'm really good, thanks, Jen. How are you, Dee Dee? Jen was asking.
Oh, I'm pretty good. I've had surgery on my ankle recently, and so I'm kind of recovering slowly. It's much more slowly than I like, but it's not
UK
too
Empire.
bad. Is it, Trishy?
No.
No, not too bad. No.
Ishkar's from UK Empire. Where did you hear about this live stream, Ishkar? Because I actually decided to post a little note on Media Roots Discord and on Status Quo Discord, just in case anybody felt like coming and saying hello. I may have to turn the heater back on. It's actually starting to get cold now, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you
Yes,
think,
it's
Dee Dee?
cold here. I'm not actually cold at the
you
moment,
not?
but that's all right. You might just want to put on a coat.
Yeah. Well, I just don't want to
Yeah. Now, do I have any room?
We're
for
looking
anything?
after a little pattymellon that's very old, Jen, and we've got him in a cage. We rescued him from outside. It was very cold, and he's very old, basically. He's in his last few days.
Yeah.
And
poor
we're just
little
sort of
thing.
kept him out of the cold and giving him water and nibblies and carrot and stuff like that. And he's sort of just hanging in there. He's not in pain or anything because he's eating and stuff.
Yeah.
But we just want to
Oh,
make sure he's
beautiful.
comfortable and not sort of outside in the cold.
Eve is Eve is friending me up at the moment. He's come up and giving me kisses.
Oh, okay. Ishka said, notifications found your channel way back from a video on a vegan flag and a pro-Palestinian content. Oh, yeah, that was ages ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That guy who, was, he made that vegan flag that was, I don't know, it's all very weird. That was a long time ago. God, that'd be like 3 or 4 years ago now, I think.
Can I make dihydrogen jelly?
Yeah, anyway, just before we were about to start, Jen, he sort of started wriggling around a bit and kind of getting a bit, and that's why we were late starting, because I wanted to clean his cage out a bit and stuff like that. I'm very tempted to sort of, seeing he's actually a little bit more lively tonight, I was thinking about maybe giving him a nice quick warm kind of a bath, drying him off, and then putting him,
He's a bit stinky.
He's a bit stinky, yeah.
Well,
and putting him in the cage.
He's heading
back
off
in the cage.
Out of life, so
yeah. But we don't want to upset him too much. Like I know that if I gave him a bath, that even though it was quick, he wouldn't like it. But
no.
But they're usually a lot more comfortable though after you do that, because they when they're getting sort of a bit stinky, like he's trying to give himself a clean at the moment, so obviously he's not happy with his hygiene at the moment. Hi Chris, how are you?
Hi Chris.
Yeah, Wild Pattymellon, yes, they sometimes they come up to visit
Wild
us.
Wild Pattymellon, yes.
Yeah, they come up to visit us, and then every so often there'll be a very, very old one who's in the last phase of their life.
At the end of his life.
Yeah, they're at the end of their life.
And they just, you can tell because they start hanging around the house.
Yeah, they start hanging around.
And they normally never do that.
Yeah, they start hanging around and they start sort of, you can tell they just start looking worse for wear, kind of thin, and then they start kind of sleeping out in the open in the middle of the day, and that's really odd for them. They usually go back to the forest and sleep, in the daytime, don't they, Dee Dee?
Yeah.
So you can kind of tell when they're like that.
Their own normal place.
Yeah, but in winter, like if it was summer, I'd just make sure that they were getting enough food and stuff, which we try and do when they're like that. But it's winter, and it's just awful seeing them. It's awful if you see somebody in the state he's in, sort of out in the cold. So when we knew that he was kind of manageable, like, because if you try and do it too early, they can be quite robust, can't they, Dee Dee?
Yeah.
Yes,
they can be. They're very strong.
They're very strong, yeah. So he basically let me he made a few grumbles and stuff, but he was quite happy. He was all right with me putting him in the cage, wasn't he, Dee Dee?
Yeah.
And he's been fine there since yesterday, and we're just making sure he's drinking and all of that.
And he's warm. Basically, It's cold outside. It gets down to freezing, and it's raining. And when they get wet and cold, it's just terrible for them, really. They're not in any space to deal with it.
Yeah, and this is probably the third Pattymellon in 5 years, isn't it, Dee Dee?
Yeah.
Pattymellon. They're like a small kangaroo. They're probably, what about, are they a bit less than a metre high, Dee Dee?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And this one is sort of a little bit bigger than the ones that we usually. So yeah. Anyway,
Hello, gorgeous.
We've seen out. We've done hospice care for 3 Pattymellons, haven't we, in the last 5 years?
Yeah.
And it's good. It's really nice to be able to do that for them, because it gets so cold and wet out there.
They're very sweet.
Yep.
We always enjoy having them around. We have probably about 25 who live in this area.
Yeah,
we have a
25.
bit of land and some.
Yeah, we have
some
this stable
woods and-
population that comes up and has a nibble on some pellets we throw out, and then they go on their way. And we throw out some carrots, and so there's about 5 acres. We have about 5 acres, and so they pretty much just live on our land and come up, our land in quotes, and they come up, and have something to eat, and then pop back into the forest at night, in the daytime, don't they, Didi? They mull around the place and eat. And hey, Didi,
Yeah.
you didn't catch what I said, did you?
What?
You didn't catch what I said, did you?
No.
No, I said they mill around the land,
Yeah.
and and have a nibble on this and that, and then they go home in the early morning.
Yeah. They usually leave the area around the house by probably 10, 9?
What, in the morning?
No, in the evening. And they go off
they come out.
and find other
They
stuff
come
that
out
they
when
want
it
to do.
starts to get a little dark, and then they leave about about 9 or 10, and then you get the stragglers that are outside, and a couple of them will actually come to the door and look in. Hey, Didi.
Yeah.
They look inside. Excuse me. And so that's. Hi, Evie, come here, sweetie. And yeah, so it's lovely having them around and seeing them. And then we get little bettongs and little potoroos and bandicoots. Hey, Didi.
Yeah.
They're lovely.
I have no hyperdrive.
Hey, Evie. Hey. Hey, Evie. Yeah. Evie. Oh, excuse me. So how's things in Nebraska? It's Nebraska, isn't it, Jen? So what part of the UK are you from, Ishka, if you don't mind me asking? We were talking about the floods, the rain in Germany, and how it's Western Germany, isn't it, Didi?
Yeah.
Crazy sort of rain that they've been having there. And excuse me, I was just wondering if there was anything like that happening in the UK. Was there, Didi? Did you hear?
No, I don't think so.
He's probably getting all.
What is the animal? Did you answer Jen about what is the animal?
A pattern, yeah.
Yeah. I guess if they're old, they let you know. They let you bathe them. Yeah, pretty much. Yes.
Who says that?
Adam says a fat wallaby. No, he's actually smaller than a wallaby. Patamelons.
Yeah.
They're just a little sweetie peas.
Didi, stop him. Didi, can you stop him from eating that?
Oh, yeah. Swifty.
We're trying to stop Swifty, one of our cats, from eating hard food because he's had a couple of teeth extractions and he's not supposed to. And he doesn't understand. Hey, Didi. He's very old and he had to have a couple of his front teeth removed, his canines. So now we owe the vets an arm and a leg. God, vets charge like the Light Brigade. Don't
I
they?
can't hear you.
Vets, they charge like the Light Brigade. Vets,
Oh, they do.
veterinarians.
Yes, we owe our souls to the veterinary
Yeah.
hospitals. Yeah.
So Jen says, pretty typical harvesting and preserving from the garden. Jen is answering. Can you not see the comments, Dee Dee?
It's difficult. I don't have
Are
my
you not
glasses.
able to? I see you're not able to.
I don't see it on here.
Oh, okay. That's weird, isn't it? Do you want me to make them bigger?
I get some of it.
There. Can you see that better?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Wait a minute.
That's better.
No, but wait a minute. I'll just move it over on a. That's right. And need to dehydrate some basil, freeze some kale. Oh, good one. Wow. Candy jalapenos. Jeez.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy.
Jalapeno sounds full on.
Yeah.
That's my kind of thing.
Dee Dee loves chili. Wow.
Yeah.
That must be crazy.
Yeah.
How do you do that, Jen?
Sounds lovely.
So what's happening here, Dee Dee?
Well, I have to get copper from somewhere or other. I'm supposed to build something, I think. Okay, real I can get copper. Necton, I can get copper.
Oh, excuse me.
There's
Oh.
one else I can get copper. So I need to find copper. I really want to find some.
Hey, Dee Dee. Dee Dee, would you mind terribly just taking a pause and maybe making us a cup of tea? Because I've got a little guy on my lap. Would you mind?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great. I may not be able to make this a very long night. I'm kind of feeling quite tired. I think I got a little bit depressed yesterday. All that news of the Amazon stuff and everything, it made me a little bit depressed, and I think I'm feeling a bit sort of, it is sad. I don't know. I might have another hour in me, and I think then maybe that might be it for me. I know. Yeah, it's like that's the problem when you live on different sides of the world. It's, I mean, what time would it be now? Let's see, 10:30. It'd probably be 8:30 on the east coast of the US. Oh, stay away from the South African news then. Is that about COVID and the HIV patients? Or is this more sort of unfortunate global warming stuff? What's that, Dee Dee? No, I think Jen is in Nebraska. I think. So she's in the middle there. So I don't know, what time would that be there? I don't know. What's happening in... okay. Riots. Possible insurrection. Oh, it's 8:30 there, Chris. Are you? Hang on, I cannot remember what part of the US you're in. I'm so sorry. I should. Are you having trouble reading the TV, Didi? Oh no! Yeah, Nebraska. It's 7:30 there. See, I wouldn't. I find all the live streams now, including Status Quo and different ones like that. They're all like some are at 5 a.m. in the morning here, and some are at like 6:30 and 7, and it's just like a little bit too early to be trying to suddenly tune into a live stream. Yeah, in winter it's like that all the time. It's basically I've missed out on most of the live streams that every leftist channel is in the United States. Pretty much the whole of winter.
Especially in winter, it's dark still.
Yes. Yeah, it's like
cold, it's
like
dark,
I've woken
and we're
up
still in bed at that hour.
I've woken up in the middle of the night, like 4 a.m., and here is Manar doing a live stream with someone, or 3:30 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, like I've never caught one of her live streams. So anyway, that's too bad. Oh, Connecticut, that's right, Connecticut. Yeah. I won't forget that.
What's here?
Has Adam gone? Oh no, there he is. What's your favorite thing about Connecticut, Chris?
Connecticut's lovely. I spent some time in Connecticut.
Have you?
Yeah. My aunt was teaching nursing at Yale.
Oh, okay. Is Yale in Connecticut?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I was there in the winter, and it was so quiet. It was beautiful.
Oh, wow. Oh, so, or all the snow and everything, that'd be lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, Swifty. What is it, Bubby? What is it? He's complaining. I don't think he's happy with his food allotment, Didi. Didi?
What?
I don't think Swifty's happy with his food allotment tonight. Oh, okay. Yeah. Hello. Well, hello. 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 Swifty. So it's halfway between Boston and New York City, also near Vermont for skiing, yeah. When I think of Connecticut, I think of autumn leaves. I don't know why.
Yes.
So anyway, Chris, we have one very old cat and 3 middle-aged cats, and then one very young cat. He's 2.5. They're all rescued cats.
Nebraska, it's 7:26 a.m. Alma. It's summer though.
So I was going to say to Chris, do you think that I think that Status Quo is actually doing better now, like with like the numbers seem to be going up. So I think they might be getting out of the danger area. There was a while there about say 5 months ago, Efi,
where survival
where
was really
it was kind of worrying me that they weren't going to make it financially, and now I sort of feel like they're kind of getting out of the danger zone now. Yeah, anyway, the autumns, I've seen some overhead footage of I think it was probably that up in that area in autumn, and it's just amazing. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So beautiful. I like, God, the trees are just full of beautiful kind of red and
Yes.
yellow and just gorgeous.
Gorgeous deciduous trees.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I think Status Quo might be in the out of the danger zone now, which is really good.
Which is excellent. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I love about this game is the colors.
This game.
Yeah, the colors.
Yeah.
We really should try and get that flight modulated. Like, we'll have to get the computer upgraded and see if we can do that game, Diddy. Because I think that'd be nice, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
For people to watch.
Sure. Flying around and having a nice time. Okay, what kind of a planet is this?
Hey.
A rotting planet.
Can I have a look at your upper thing? Oh,
Okay.
his upper little spot seems okay. Where he's had his where you've had your teeth out. They look all right, don't they? Do you think? We'll have to take him back and get them checked.
I have to find copper.
Hey, don't you think? Probably get you checked out. Hey. Yeah.
Oh, the spaceship's going that way. What direction is that?
Yeah, really. Yeah, I think eventually it'll just be a matter of time before they kick off anybody who's a leftist in some way. Chris was just saying, they're doing better, but I worry that they'll get kicked off YouTube for some BS reason. Yeah.
Yeah. The United States has some beautiful countryside, I have to say. I used to love the Sangre de Cristo Mountains in autumn.
Oh,
It
yeah.
had all the aspens, and they would all go gold, and it was just gorgeous.
Oh, wow. How are that forest going that had that particular beetle that was destroying the forest? The beetles? How's that going?
Well, that was the... Oh God, which beetle was it? It's a boring beetle.
Yeah.
And it's in Colorado and Wyoming and.
I just wonder.
It was the heat that was changing their life cycles and allowing them to live longer.
I was just wondering how that's going.
And I think they've, deforested big areas of.
Right. Yeah. Graham Elwood has been demonetized for months now. Yeah. Yeah, they have YouTube has a low tolerance for anything that's kind of questioning anything about COVID or anything about or anything that seems like it's too conspiratorial or it's a bit right wing. Or whatever they seem to have. I noticed that there was a number of YouTube channels that were doing a lot about, I don't know if they were COVID deniers or close to that, but they were constantly sort of questioning everything, about COVID and complaining about wearing masks and stuff, and I think YouTube has a really low tolerance for that, and I think that's why they ended up getting knocked off, mostly, I think. I just noticed that there was a common theme with a number of them, Didi.
Yeah.
But, there's also, I don't know what was going on with, I stopped watching James Corbett when I realized he was a climate change denier. That was one of the things. But I think he was doing a lot of that too. I mean, you can acknowledge that governments use any sort of catastrophe to try and, bring in measures that are, that oppress people and all of that. That's just what governments do, particularly the US. So, but you can have that thought, and you can believe that COVID is actually a real disease that is not the flu, and you know what I mean, Didi?
Yeah.
You can have two ideas in one's head at the same time, but unfortunately, a lot of people just throw the baby out with the bathwater, and they just go, it's just like, you can have two ideas about one thing. It doesn't have to be one or the other. So, anyway. So we've got an ingestation of the green boring beetles killing our ash trees. Infestation, right?
Oh. Hell. I know there's something around here.
It's kind of shocking, though, to me when people just have bought the entire, now I don't know what people feel on this stream, but the whole idea that you're being basically microchipped when you're given a vaccine. I actually saw a few people
carry around phones. I mean, Jesus, God in heaven.
Yeah, but Didi, on a stream yesterday,
yeah,
I saw 2 or 3 people sort of suggesting that they're putting a chip in you, basically.
Yeah.
I'd like to see how tiny,
Bill
Didi,
Gates has
how
been
tiny
involved in injections.
I don't know exactly how they think that's being inserted into you.
I'm sorry, unless you were unconscious, you would know it.
Yeah, but Didi.
Yeah.
The syringe needle
Yeah.
is so tiny.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of chip they think is being inserted into them, unless they think that
there's magic chips.
These mRNA things are somehow recoding you so that they can basically form their own sort of a I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. It's so sort of strange.
It's weird.
Because there's no way they'd ever be able to make unless there's another explanation that they have for me. There's no way you could get any sort of little chip through a tiny, tiny needle like that.
Yeah.
And they don't need to chip people. Everybody's carrying around a phone.
Yeah, everybody's carrying around a phone.
Pretty much. Fish and chips. What is a fish and chip, Adam?
A what?
A fish and chip.
Fish and chips.
A fish and chip.
Yes, fish and chips.
Is that a joke? I see.
Yes.
Very good. And if you're New Zealander, it'd be fish and chaps. Didi.
What?
And if you're a New Zealander, it'd be fish and chaps.
Chaps.
Haha. Chaps. Fish and chaps.
Oh.
You'll own nothing and you'll be happy.
Yes. We'll make sure.
So, Chris, what's your favorite thing to do in Connecticut? Do you have any things that you like to do there? And have you always lived in that area, or is that sort of just somewhere you've moved to? Oh. So anyway, what do you know what's happening in South Africa, Dee Dee? Because I don't.
No, with what?
I don't know. There's
I know that there's been.
Yeah, good one, Adam. Yeah, there's some sort of riots and stuff going on in South Africa. I have no idea what's going on. I'll have to look into that. So Jan said around here the difference between conspiracy theory and reality is about 6.
Good one.
But it just sort of, it's kind of sad when I look at, like, there's a perfectly sensible live stream going on, and then people were sort of like, and being very sincere about it, kind of freaking out and kind of saying to everybody in the stream, you're being sucked in by, you're all being kind of sort of marked, and stuff like that, and I wish you could see it. And they were really worried about people, you know what I mean, being microchipped in vaccines. I think that's what they were worried about.
Yeah.
And anyway. I wonder if there are people like that. People were maskers in 1918, Dee Dee.
I don't know.
Freaking out. Because it I don't know. So, Adam said, Zuma's arrest led to mass uprisings of his supporters, but now it has expanded to general looting and even organized infrastructure sabotage. Oh, yeah. I often, I know this is terrible, but I immediately, when I hear about unrest in a certain country, I sort of often just, my mind flips to, I wonder if the CIA is involved in that somewhere.
Yes.
It immediately, that's just, my mind just goes there.
Yeah, if I hear there's unrest in a certain country, and I think, does the U.S. have designs on this country?
Exactly. And are they happy with the leader at the current time? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they're not happy with the leader, or or you hear them slagging off the leader at some point.
Yeah.
Or you just think to yourself, maybe they were happy with the leader and now they're not. And so now so the CIA causes destabilization, and the next thing you know, out goes the leader, and then there's somebody that they're happy with in there. I mean, it's just something I can't help but default to, because it always ends up being that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Always, pretty much. I don't think it just almost always it turns out that the CIA has been meddling.
And if it didn't start that way, it becomes that way.
They take advantage of that.
If there is actual unrest and it wasn't initiated by the CIA, and they want to fuck around with the government, they will take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I've just crashed.
Oh, yeah. So,
no.
Yeah. Adam says, as far as he's aware, US isn't involved. Yeah. Well, we'll probably just have to watch and see. I often find it takes a little while.
Yeah,
for
South
things.
Africa's not Haiti. Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
I think there's a lot of unrest, and that's, I think, just because of the instability of so many people, white people, still having power and money.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so many black people still being poor.
Right.
And
Yeah, I don't, not familiar with what the situation is like there really at all. It's like the Haiti thing. I really have had to just kind of try and pick up a history of it, because it's just sort of been out of the news for a while, even though it's really difficult for Haitians. Like, people are really poor there because of all the constant meddling and colonialization and all that,
Yeah.
But I don't.
I mean, it's like with Cuba. I mean, Cuba's just, ever since the revolution, they haven't had a break.
No.
With the meddling,
Yeah.
And
corporate intervention agency.
What strikes me is that socialism is basically a relatively new idea. And different countries have become socialist, and they've tried different methods of socialism. Like in Russia, it was a very bureaucratic social communism. And it was based on, a push towards industry and this kind of thing, and creating even agrarian, reforms to create agriculture as an industry with workers, instead of, people have farms, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And in Cuba, it's like, it's been a peasant revolution. So they've had a different, it hasn't been that. And so they've created their own revolution and their own kind of communism. And China has created its own kind of communism. And
although it's more it's kind of more capitalist at this point. Yeah.
But I mean, initially, I'm talking under Mao and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They were creating their own kind of communism.
Yeah.
But, and it was a different one than Russia or than Cuba although it was probably closer to Cuba than it was to Russia, really.
Yeah.
And different countries try their different methods, and it's interesting, and as soon as anybody tries to do it, of course, the United States steps in and starts fucking with them.
Yeah. And then when they fuck with them,
and so they're always, under assault.
Yeah.
And life is always made difficult, and nobody gets a chance to actually just see what they can do.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Like, nobody's given a chance to say, okay, if we can organize society the way we like, what kind of society would we organize? No, they have to, focus on defending themselves above everything.
Yeah.
Because, nobody will give them a chance to do anything else.
Yeah.
And that's so dispiriting in a way.
Yes, and then they have the audacity to say, "Oh, socialism never works," when
Socialism never works.
they never
Yeah,
ever
what a load of
even
shit
give them a
that is.
chance to work.
Yeah, that's because you're stuffed with it
Well, yeah, constantly.
constantly.
Yeah, embargoes and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Eric Draitser, he's a journalist, said full unequivocal support for the Cuban Revolution. Anything else is tacit support of U.S. imperialism.
Yeah, South Africa does have a lot of minerals, so neither still, yeah. It certainly does.
Yeah.
It also has a lot of poor people, rich people, yeah, different classes of people.
Oh, Jesus. Little guy.
And a lot
You're
of
such
that
a
is
ruffian.
divided by
Ugh.
race, unfortunately.
What's that?
South Africa has a lot of poor people, rich people, and a lot of it is divided by race, is what I was saying. Oh, no. I want a place where I can sell some of this shit.
Huh.
I've got so much stuff.
Oh, can you help out little guy here? Did he? Oh, I think he's hungry. Rooney.
Metal plating. Can I make metal plating? Oh.
Poor Julian Assange's father, Mr. Shipton. It's just, it must be so awful having to go around begging, having to go around sort of, and probably knowing that nothing's going to happen unless they want it to, unless the US wants it to, you know?
Yeah,
But just going around sort of, I don't know, just awful,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Your whole waking time would be that, wouldn't it?
yeah.
How to get him out. They're so cruel, fucking awful, sadistic, fucking cruel people.
I've forgotten how to use
Hello,
this.
little
I don't
one. Hello.
Shoot it.
Hello. What?
I'm trying to figure out how to use this portable refinery. Fuel supply, carbon. Okay. What am I going to put in there?
No, haven't had one person view that on Twitter. You know, not one well, not that I know of. Isn't that amazing? How is that even possible?
I don't know.
Oh well. Assange deserves to be free in reparations for wrongful imprisonment. Yeah. Oh, I don't know how that's going to turn out, honestly.
What's that?
The whole Assange thing, I don't know.
No. No.
It'd be really interesting to know, like, if they have, like, if the US has a plan on how it's going to end, or, you know, like, or they just kind of basically just want to keep it going for as long as possible until he dies of cancer or something, you know.
Yeah.
But it just I don't know, I think they just want to keep it going so he's completely messed up
Yeah.
and he can't do anything. And also just to keep that example going, make an example like that what was his name? That journalist said, you know, he's the equivalent of a severed head on a pike outside the city gates. You know, they're sort of making a extreme example of him.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it's going to end. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like I just wonder where their end point is for it. Do they want to just wait until he either kills himself or someone kills him, or he just is so messed up that he wouldn't be able to do anything, which I think it's almost at that point.
Yeah.
Like, I just wonder where if they have a cutoff point, you know.
I don't think so. I think their main thing is to get him.
Oops.
You know. And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to get him.
Yeah, I just wonder if they don't sort of get somebody to kill him and say it's a suicide, then I wonder if I don't know, what was it? I've forgotten what I was going to say. Yeah, I just wonder if they don't want to make a martyr of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they let him die, whether he's killed or whether he kills himself or whatever,
Yeah.
or dies of COVID or dies of cancer, like whatever way it goes, I wonder if they don't want him to actually die, but they want to drag it out for as long as they can, like they do sometimes where they, with the you know, the Black Panthers kind of thing, you know, where they wait until they've got cancer and then really at the last minute they'll let them out.
Oh yeah.
Do that kind of thing.
Yeah, and say, "Oh, we did release them."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I wonder whether they'll do something like that.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody going to force them to release him.
No.
Like, they don't care. Even like, they don't care what a judge says, or there's no law. They don't. There's nothing
Yeah.
that makes them stick to any law.
Yes, I mean this whole business of the rule of law is just such garbage.
Yeah, they don't.
You
They
know?
don't care about law.
No. They've never cared about law.
Breaking it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm sure, I don't know if they have some sort of dead man's key sort of thing for Julian Assange. If somebody kills him, maybe they're concerned about that maybe he does, but they don't know that he does, that there's something. But, you know, in some ways, like somebody said one day, and I agree, I don't even know if they even care anymore what's released about them, because what is anybody going to do about it? You know, it's like, it doesn't seem to matter what comes out anymore about people.
No.
Like, you know,
No.
like, it's sort of, and there's also so much propaganda about some people, and, you know, and some stuff that's real and some stuff that isn't, and they mix it all up. And I mean, you know, a long time ago, Didi Hay, in the early 2000s, you know, I sort of, you know, they were conditioning people, the public, to get used to people being notorious and making them famous because of their notoriety.
Yeah.
You know, and so it became almost like preferable if public figures and stuff were in some ways notorious or kind of immoral in some ways, because they
notorious, whether they're famous or infamous, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
as long as they were notorious.
Yeah, and then they could, you know, get clickbait and, you know, get more advertising because people were coming to see.
People knew who they were.
Yeah, that's right. And so they sort of started. They kind of really went that way. The Fourth Estate, the corporate media and stuff, they went that way, and now I think it's to the point where almost every day there's some revelation about corruption in some country or some politician, and it just floats by. There's no accountability. There's no recourse, is there, Dee Dee?
No.
Just floats by, and I feel like at this point, people could almost do any. I mean, it's not far fetched when Donald Trump said, and I'm not just talking about Donald Trump. Anybody, they're all crooks. But when he said, "Oh, I could assassinate somebody on Fifth Street and I could get away with it," I actually believe he could do that.
I think that he could. Yeah.
I mean, that's how far gone it is now.
Yeah.
I think people can get away with so much.
Yeah.
And if they're, as long as they're not affecting the capitalist class directly, like for example, Bernie Madoff, he messed with the wrong people, and that's why he ended up in prison.
Yeah.
But if he wasn't messing with the wrong people, meaning business people, then he probably wouldn't have gone to prison.
Yeah.
And that's where it is. It's like, it's basically, if you're in that club, like Hillary Clinton, all those people, they're never going to see the inside of a prison, ever.
No.
Donald Trump is never going to see the inside of a prison.
Anybody they've got too much power. Donald Trump, maybe, because a lot of the people in power don't like him.
I still don't think, because they don't want to set a precedent for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So even though they may not like him, they're not going to put, they're not going to start a precedent off, and if they do that, that's what'll happen. And I just don't.
Chris says he won't get. I think he's talking about Assange.
Oh, hi Tom. How are you?
Hi Tom.
Nice to see you. Are you?
Hi. Chris says Assange won't give up his sources. I would be surprised if he has some info on Sethridge. Oh, look. I think, ultimately what the U.S. wants is to get Assange and torture him to get every bit of information they want out of him. And then they'll just throw him in a hole, or
I don't
let
think
him commit suicide, or
I
let
think
him
he's
kill
useless
himself.
now, Didi.
What?
I think he's probably useless now because he's so psychologically traumatized.
No, I think he knows things.
I don't know. I don't think he's. I don't think he's well.
I think he knows, how they were doing something. I think even if things have updated from that, then I think just knowing who he knows, what contacts he may have had, who he was working with, I think those are all things they'd want to know.
Oh, yeah.
Whether or not it's useful to them. They want to just soak his brain.
But this is this is torture now.
It's absolutely torture now.
But I mean,
and I think Assange has said, he'd rather kill himself than go to the U.S. because he knows he's just going to get tortured.
Sure, but I was just wondering why they haven't sent in, people to question him in the prison, since he's actually, he's basically.
Tom's been working doubles these days.
Yeah. What do you mind me asking? What kind of work is that, Tom? You don't have to answer.
No.
Hopefully, it's not horrible work that's really, stressful. Be careful if you're working night shift that you're taking vitamin D, Tom, because a lot of people, particularly women who work night shift, repeat, on an ongoing basis, end up with very, very low vitamin D levels, and they end up getting breast cancer or some kind of cancer or diabetes and stuff. And if you have low vitamin D, you're very susceptible to getting the severest outcomes of COVID as well. So, we take during winter, we take about 5,000 units of vitamin D at the moment, and probably, 2,000 in summer units.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know if you've heard that there's actually widespread vitamin D deficiency. I talk about this a lot, because I know how serious things can get if you have low vitamin D, Didi?
Yeah.
So anyway, if you aren't taking, everybody should in the world actually, no matter where you live, should take vitamin D. It's not even a matter of getting enough sun, is it, Didi?
No.
It doesn't seem to matter anymore.
No.
If people get enough sun.
And as you age, your ability to absorb vitamin D becomes less. Unfortunately.
Evie. Evie.
Another system that breaks down. Oh my.
Adam said, I don't think he knows anything too much. It's all documents that he does not have access to. Yeah. And also, I mean, he's been out of the loop now for like 11 years in some way. Probably, I mean, they were surveilling him. The CIA was surveilling him in the Ecuadorian embassy. So I don't know if they were able. I don't know if they were able to tap into his computer, but they certainly were surveilling his conversations with people in that embassy. And I'm surprised that people didn't do a sweep of his room. Like, there was times where, you know, they were showing surveillance footage of him, and I was thinking, why didn't they do a little sweep of that room every day, did he?
I don't know.
It's weird.
It's weird.
You would think they'd do that.
Wrong and bad.
Okay, so Tom takes vitamin D. That's great. So manufacturing, engineering, and painting jobs to pay the bills. Oh, okay, that's a lot of work, Tom.
Yeah.
I was just saying to Dee Dee today, you know, how expensive it's gotten just going to a restaurant. Like today, like we never go to restaurants, really, do we, Dee Dee?
No, not really. Oh, well, we occasionally have coffee.
Oh, we have coffee, but we end up sharing a coffee because having 2 coffees is too expensive.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, oh, today, like yesterday, I was feeling a bit depressed, and I sort of felt like going and having something. Like, it's been forever since we've actually eaten at a place, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, well, you know, we could go down and we could have some scrambled tofu and some whatever for breakfast.
Can't.
And then we thought, oh, no, well, to have scrambled tofu each and then to have a coffee is
or something.
$40 or $50.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know, it just becomes, it's not just sort of a little treat anymore. It becomes like almost like a straight out meal, like in a you know, it's just beyond my finances. So
Yeah.
it starts to it's become now almost like a classist thing where you can't go out and eat basically unless it's just a major expense.
Yeah.
Hey, Didi.
Yeah. Yeah. The idea of going out and having, yeah, a bit of a nosh on something or other is just gone.
And maybe $50 isn't much to some people because they're getting in a decent wage, but I mean, I don't have that kind of money.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
We're kind of like, yeah, unfortunately. Seems so toward the end of the week. Oh, so anyway, I don't know. I hope Julian Assange has access to books in Belmarsh. God, I hope so, Didi.
What?
I hope Julian
books.
Assange has access to books
I
in
hope
Belmarsh.
so.
Because I think would keep him kind of sane.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't trust our government here in Australia to...
No, I think if he was here, they'd turn him over to the Americans.
They'd turn him over, so...
Without a second thought.
As much as
they might decide to torture him here, but I mean...
Yeah. I don't think so. I think
they'd give him to the Americans to do.
Yeah.
I think the Americans would demand it anyway.
Yeah. We have the most pathetic, weak-willed, mealy-mouthed politicians over here you could ever wish for.
Disgusting.
Yeah, just awful. Doesn't matter what party. They're absolutely hopeless in Julian Assange's thing, aren't they, Didi?
Yeah.
It is so infuriating. I can't even bear to think about it because it makes me so angry, and every time I've called up those politicians, I just want to reach through the phone and slap them repeatedly.
Yeah.
I mean, they just make me so angry, and they're all flat catchers. aren't they, Didi?
Yeah.
All they do is either pretend they don't know anything, or they immediately become defensive if you
Yeah.
ask about him, or
And
they
start
make up some BS. For a long time
some
there.
form letter garbage.
Yeah, for a long time there, they were making up the BS of, oh, Mr. Assange can go to the consulate and get the help that he needs. And you'd sort of
Whatever
say, don't be
help he's
ridiculous.
entitled to.
The minute he gets out, the minute he walks down the stairs of the embassy, they'll snaffle him.
Yeah.
You know, like saying sort of insulting things like that to members of the public
Yeah.
when he was in the embassy. And then you ring up and they just find many ways to just make out like they don't know, or now they say, oh, well, he's in the hands of the UK, so we can't really interfere.
Yeah.
Isn't that the latest? I mean, honestly, it's just disgusting, and I don't know. It just it infuriates me, and it just shows you how
Corrupt and
how you
disgusting.
have it makes no difference to them if you're an Australian citizen. If the US wants to mess with you,
They're
they
not
just
worried
throw
about journalism or
no,
anything
they just
else.
throw you. They would just throw you to the wolves, basically, because they do not care, do they, Didi? It doesn't matter if
no.
you're an Australian citizen. So,
As Australian citizens,
and they do
we're
not
offended
care.
by that.
And here they are. They're all like you see people, idiots on Twitter, kind of worrying about people in Hong Kong, and stupid politicians going on about Hong Kong and all this kind of stuff. And meanwhile, and that was just a big CIA bullshit propaganda thing that was going on there. And then the next, but here they are with Julian Assange like that, and it's like it's crickets, isn't it, Didi?
Yeah.
Pretty much crickets.
Yeah.
It's just disgusting. I have absolutely zero respect for any of them at this point.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what party. And that includes the Greens here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like anytime something happens, I just think, like when that court outcome happened in the UK, I just thought, yeah, that's great, but I kind of knew that somehow, because they don't follow any sort of rule of law, that somehow they
talk
just
about the rule of law, but
Yeah.
they don't follow any.
yeah, they just make up something to manage to keep on. Like, it's so sadistic because it puts that poor woman Stella Morris and her children just constantly, like, if I was her, I would hope for the best but expect the worst all the time. Wouldn't matter what outcome happened, because there is no rule of law, and they just do whatever the hell they want, and everybody just submits to the US government, don't they, Didi?
Yeah.
So it doesn't, like, whatever the US really wants ultimately, I feel
They
is
get to
pretty
do
much going to
whatever they
happen.
want.
Yeah, whatever they want ultimately is eventually what's going to happen. I hate to say that, but don't you
Yeah.
think, Didi?
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah. Well, I feel like Australia certainly is just complete lackey.
oh yeah. And if anything like if he ends up getting released from prison, and it's not because he has cancer or whatever, if he gets released, it'll be because the US want him to be released. It won't be because of any sort of anybody following any rule of law. It'll be because they've decided that's enough for him, or they'll get him some other way. Like, look at what they did to Chelsea Manning,
Yeah.
putting her back in, and she, that is totally messing with her head, knowing that she was suicidal.
Yeah.
And you can really see she's only just starting to look sort of healthy, there was a period there where I think she was petrified to even say anything on Twitter or anywhere else because she was so afraid they were going to do it again.
Yeah.
I actually thought they were going to keep putting her back in prison again and again and again to just mess her up so badly that she ends up killing herself, you know?
Yeah.
And I think they might have let her out because they actually did think she was going to really kill herself, but like, or they just thought she's not going to give us anything. Not that I even think they were, like, she's not going to roll over on Julian Assange, that was for sure.
Yeah.
And I think she would have rather killed herself than do that.
Yeah, she wasn't going to.
No, she wasn't going to, and they probably just thought, well, we don't want to make a martyr of her where she kills herself.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I
I don't
think
think they would have cared, really.
No, I don't think they would have cared, but if you allow somebody to kill themselves, you kind of, in some ways, you martyr them in the eyes of the public in a way, and then somebody else will step up, you know, and you know what I mean? You create almost like a dozen Chelsea Mannings then, in some ways.
But you also create the thing of you'll pay with your life.
Oh, sure. Well, no, I mean, but they're making such an extreme example of Assange and Chelsea Manning. Like, how long? I mean, they're relentless with Julian Assange. It's just sort of like it's just, you know, just goes on and on and on and on.
It does.
It's just never fucking ending.
Yeah.
And that's why I to be really, like, you know, I'll do whatever I can to sort of help try and bring that issue to light, but it's like I have little hope that unless the US decide they want to end that torturous, you know, thing that they're doing to him, it's never gonna end until they decide. Yeah,
Chris says safe embassy. Ask Khashoggi. I don't know that he thought that embassy was safe. He asked his wife to make sure he got out. She was waiting outside. He was trying to get permission to marry. I think he needed some sort of official recognition or something like that. And
what kind of mafia move was that, though? I mean, that's a sort of mafia type execution, isn't it?
Khashoggi, chopping him up.
Yeah. And, you know, if that actually, this is the thing.
Oh, I think
did that actually happen? I mean,
yeah, I think that probably
because where is the, like, nobody actually ever, did anybody actually see the body and have evidence of it and everything?
They had recordings. The Turkish government had a lot of recordings.
How did they get the recordings, though?
Because they had the embassy bugged.
Did they? Why did they? Really?
Yep.
And the Saudis didn't know that?
Yeah, apparently not.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Look at this little cat. Look, Didi. Look at this little cat.
And they know that all of those people were trained by the CIA who did that.
Right.
They've identified who the people are and know that they were trained by the CIA.
Right.
And that's not conspiracy or anything. That's like, no, that's pretty factual.
So, Adam said, rumor has it that Khashoggi was being somewhat sympathetic to 9/11 families looking to sue. Yeah.
I think it was mainly that Khashoggi was being extremely critical of the Saudi government and MBS.
How is that going anyway, that whole lawsuit against the Saudis, the Saud family? It's not the Saud family. Who is it against?
The family, the Saud family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how that's going, because that's been going now for a while.
I don't think it's going.
No?
No.
I thought, because there was a lot of people doing that.
Oh, you mean the American lawsuits?
Yeah.
Against the Saudi Arabian government?
Yep. I wonder how that's going.
Well, I don't think the U.S. is really interested in pushing that. I mean, the Saudis are their friends and servitors in the Middle East.
No, but I mean, this is those people with that case. I think they're just going through usual courts. I don't think the government has any say in that, do they? You know what I mean?
Well, they always have some say in it.
Do they?
Sure.
I I wonder if little guy wants something to eat. I'm just going to pop up and see if this little paddy melon is awake and...
What happened to the, you're on the wrong page, sweetie. Can you change pages?
What?
Can you change pages so we can see the chat?
Sorry, yeah.
What? Yeah. That's good. Our little baby. There's a really decent book called Blood and Oil about about basically Mohammed bin Salman. Paradise Planet, Yahoo. Yeah. Adam says the lawsuit's ongoing and things are happening very slowly. But I don't know. I think the whole thing is so corrupt that they're not going to really allow much true investigation into anything. Trishy's looking at the little Patty, making sure he's okay. Might be a paradise planet, but it's very steep. Yeah, Adam says it's important to make them come out and block it, meaning the US government. Make them do the work, make it obvious that they're doing it. Make it obvious that they're blocking the efforts to look at the fact that the Saudis have been involved in the whole 9/11 thing. I don't know that the Saudi government has so much as individuals, but the Saudi government is such a, it's just a bunch of princes. When you're dealing with, actual monarchies with absolute power, it's just stuffed. Why are there no people on these planets? Which one is that, Trish? By Doug Valentine. Trish is asking if anybody's read the book on the CIA by Doug Valentine. She's got it on Audible, but I don't know. I don't know what book that is. Oh, come on. Are there no freaking anythings on this? I don't even see any copper or anything. Any mineral deposits. Jesus God. If I can land there. Ah, yeah. Trishy's, the little baby is having very long drinks, and she doesn't want to disturb it. And yeah, he's kind of not looking too badly at the moment. He's eating and having a little bit better time. Yeah, as Trish says, he looks like crap, but he's still able to eat. Sodium. Don't we have any minerals in this place? Jesus God. There's supposed to be minerals on this planet. Somewhere. Ah, yeah. Oh, well, I'm hoping to find some copper somewhere, but I don't seem to be able to. And I'm on this planet, which is supposed to be a paradise planet, but it's incredibly steep. Everything is just so freaking steep that it's insane. And I've got too much stuff in my inventory and I can't find any place to sell it or get rid of it. And there doesn't seem to be a space station in this solar system. And I don't know if I have to build a house first, but I have to get copper first, and I can't find any copper. And this is just stupid. I don't know what planet I have to go to get copper. There's supposed to be copper on all these planets. And instead I get nothing. And it's depressing. Okay, that's a paradise planet that's so steep that, I don't know, you get to have a house on top of a mountain. Where's my bloody airplane? There, somewhere.
Back.
Very pretty, but I don't know. Kind of useless.
What's that, Didi?
Oh, well, I'm on a very pretty planet. It's supposed to be a paradise planet, but it's, I have to say, it's so steep that I'm not sure it could be called paradise.
Huh.
Where's that
Tom
first planet?
said other world problems, Didi.
What?
Other world problems. Huh.
Really other world problems.
Huh.
Yes. What planet is that?
Hey Tom, what do you do in your spare time for fun, or like as a
have
hobby
fun?
or whatever? If you have a hobby, what do you like
Do
to
you
do?
get to have fun?
Yeah.
I hope.
Do you get to have fun? Yeah. It's sort of looking a little pixelated. What's happening, Didi?
Oh, I'm actually going warp speed,
Oh.
so it's all sort of going very fast. It's not really warp speed, it's pulse drive, but it's still very fast.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. I don't have a hyperdrive, so I can't go off into proper space. I
Yeah.
have to stay in this solar system.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah. Swifty. Swifty. Did they give you a bath at the hospital? Did they? Did they give you a bath at the hospital? Did they?
Okay.
Swifty. Swifty. What? What? So bicycle commuting and volunteer at the bike co-op.
Ah, yeah.
Working on bikes for the homeless, mushroom hunting.
Mushroom hunting sounds
Wow.
fun.
And
Bikes for the
watching-
homeless sounds pretty good too.
Yeah. And watching the world.
The world I knew
knew.
growing up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't that fun?
Yes, that's really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know that one, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's lovely to. I was just saying to Dee Dee today, my mother got out of this world just in time,
Just in
I think.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. She and Dad got out just in time. I mean, my father was born 1911 because I was adopted and they were 40 years older. Well, he was 47 years older than me, and he was born was it just when electricity came into Australia? Before electricity came into
About
Australia.
20 years before.
My father, yeah. Crazy, eh? Anyhow, Dee Dee, I may have to actually call it a night. I think I'm a bit bedraggled. I thought I would get a Dee Dee?
Yeah.
I thought I'd get a second wind, but I don't know. I'm feeling a bit bedraggled. I guess we've been going for almost 3.5 hours, haven't we?
Yeah.
We started.
A
Oh no,
while.
hang on. We started at 9, so yeah, that's
Yeah.
about right. It's hang on. No, 2.5 hours. I
Oh,
think.
look, there's one. Where's my spaceship? I need to get into my spaceship. It's over there somewhere. Huh. Oh well.
Uh-oh. Did you knock yourself
I
off?
died.
Did you knock yourself off?
No,
Oh, did
I
it,
died.
Chris? Oh, how did you get back?
Well, there was somebody after me and they killed me.
No, I mean Chris said his phone died.
Oh.
Hi Jen. Love to all, busy picking and canning. Oh, that's nice. Well, thanks so much for dropping by. I was just saying, Chris, I don't know why. I thought I'd get a second wind, but I was actually, I don't know, feeling tired this evening.
Picking and canning sounds like a lovely thing to do.
Yeah, very.
Well,
Oh, charged
why
it.
is it
Oh,
so
very
far
good.
away?
Well,
Where's
you've got
my
a fast
spaceship?
charger. We've got a couple of Huawei's, and they're actually quite good, and they charge pretty quickly, don't they, Dee Dee?
Yeah.
I got a Huawei as an FU to the US government and the Australian government. And they're actually a really good phone.
Yeah, they are.
Huh.
What do I need? Ferrite dust. Well, there's a lot of rocks here.
What are you up to for the rest of the day, Chris? Anything exciting? Hey. Yeah, I know. Anyway, Dee Dee, I think... Oh, what's he doing there? Hey, Eefy. Oh, he's smelling the little patty melon's tail. Our little youngest cat, Eefy, he's just so orally and he just olfactory boy, isn't he, Dee Dee? He just
Yeah.
goes around sniffing everything.
And tasting everything.
He's
Has to
sniffing and
stick his
tasting.
nose in everything
Yeah.
and then try and lick it.
Yeah.
But he's very sweet. And he's into kissing.
Oh, he's adorable. Now he's trying to take down his brother. He makes this little wildcat sound as he runs and tries to pull over his brother, who's bigger than him.
Yeah.
And then
his brother always knocks him over.
yeah. Or actually, right now he was bunny kicking him in the head, and he let go. But yeah, he's very young. I like it. He's what is he now? 2.5. But he really is so much
Still
more
a
like a
kitten.
kitten, and he's just so hilarious. He's really, really funny. He's just adorable,
Yeah.
and he's just a friend to all the world, isn't he, Dee Dee?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Working remotely. Oh, okay. You're working remotely, like as in you've. What does that mean? Working remotely
Well,
from home.
online,
Oh, okay.
not in an office.
Oh, okay.
Where's my grave?
That must be nice, working from home. I'd really like that a lot. Yeah, I think a lot of people since the whole COVID thing have discovered they can work from home, and I think people are sort of moving toward that in a way. And I think that um, why not? I mean, it certainly would reduce the amount of traveling, and also, if you're using cars, then it's reducing pollution and all sorts of things. Hey, Didi.
Yeah.
But I mean, that would be fantastic working from home, don't you reckon, Didi?
Yeah.
What you doing,
My
Evie?
grave up there.
Are you trying to take your brother down? Oh my. Anyway, Didi, Chris says it's both a blessing and a curse, impacts the family relationships. Does it? Oh, because what? You're always seeing people, um, or it's good to be able to get out and come back and that kind of thing. It's sort of a psychological thing. Excuse me.
How is my grave in the air?
Kids think you're available when I'm on calls. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. You've got young children then. Mm. Ouch. Yeah, we might round it up after that, hey Didi? Well, I'll have to go, Didi. Didi? Cats also like keyboards when in meetings. Oh yeah, yeah. They sure do. It's nice getting nice comments on videos. Anyway, Didi, if it's okay if you don't mind, I mean, you can sit here and keep talking if you want to. I just need to go to bed. Didi? 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 Look over here. Didi? Didi, look over here.
Okay. I'll wind it up in just a few minutes.
Okay.
See if I can
Oh, okay. Okay, Tom. Tom's got to go. I got to go. See you next time. Love to all. Love to you, Tom. Lovely to see you. I'm sorry I was a bit low energy tonight. I'm just really tired. I don't know, I'm just really tired. I think I'm a little bit depressed at the moment. So, anyway, Dee Dee, I might, if you can wrap it up and then we'll just say goodbye. Yeah, good night, Chris, and good night, Adam, and Jen is gone, I think. No, Jen's gone. And anybody else who joined in earlier on, Ishkar, and I think there was Shubham Kandakar, who seemed to just pop in and pop out. So anybody else who might have been lurking, it's all lovely to, and Joanna, she came and went. So anyway, lovely to see everybody, and I hope you have a lovely day and a safe day, and take care of yourself. Yes, yes, Dee Dee's fine. I'm not. And next time, yeah, hopefully I'll be more vital. And yeah, thanks, Chris. Have a good day, and don't work too hard. And We'll see you soon. We'll probably do this in another couple of weeks, maybe 3. And if you feel like bringing a friend along, the more the merrier. And it's always good to, so that I'm just not like I just talk and talk and talk usually, and and the more there's yes, and the more yes, that's of course, but the more people that are there, and then we can all kind of share ideas and stuff. Yeah, yeah. Okay, then we'll have a lovely day. Thanks so much, and much love to everybody. Good night. Good night.